Are you struggling to choose the right provincial nominee program for your Canada PR journey? In this video, we'll break down this process into simple steps, helping you navigate the complexities of Canada's PNP and thereby increasing your chances of success. Most people don't get rejected from PNPs because they are unqualified. They get rejected because they apply to the wrong PNP. Today, in this video, I'll show you a simple step-by-step method to choose the right provincial nominee program based on your own profile. So if you have ever wondered whether you should apply to Alberta, to Ontario, to BC, Saskatchewan, or any of the Canadian provinces PNP, this video should give you a clear answer. By the end of it, and if you follow along properly, I hope you exactly know which PNP fits your CRS, your experience, and your long-term goals. But first things first. PNPs are programs that are designed to allow Canadian provinces to nominate individuals for permanent residence. We all know that. But here's a reality check. PNPs don't select candidates randomly. Each province runs its PNP with a distinct economic purpose. For example, Alberta prioritizes long-term retention and labor shortages. Ontario targets high-skilled and tech talent. BC focuses on employer-driven shortages. And Saskatchewan emphasizes in-demand occupation and settlement potential. If you don't match a province's priorities, your chances will drop, even if your CRS score is high. So the goal is very simple. Match your profile to the province that wants someone like you. Before we go any further, let's do a quick recap. PNP falls into several major categories. Understanding which category fits you eliminates 70% of irrelevant PNPs instantly. For example, there are express entry aligned streams. These are designed for candidates who already have a competitive CRS score. Then there are job offer based streams where people who already are working in a province with the LMIA or a job offer are preferred. In-demand occupation is another category based stream which targets specific NOCs needed by the province. Then there is a residency aligned stream which targets candidates who are already living and working in a province. And last but not the least is the international graduate stream for students who have studied either in that province or in Canada. So these are the broad categories in which you can group all the PNP streams of Canada. There could be some exceptions, but broadly, these are the categories in which all the PNPs can be grouped. Some provinces may have more than one of these. For example, Alberta has express entry aligned stream and a job offer based stream. So it depends on province to province. So for example, Alberta's PNP is designed to keep people who already have ties to the province and to fill the real labor shortages, especially in rural areas. Ontario's PNP is the most express entry aligned and high skill focused in Canada. BC runs one of the most structured and predictable PNP systems, but it's heavily tied to employer needs. Saskatchewan PNP is known for being occupation driven or NOC driven and is accessible even without a job offer. Hence, the key to success is to align your profile with the province actively seeking candidates with your specific background. If your profile doesn't match a province's established priorities, your probability of receiving a nomination will decrease, regardless of your high competitive CRS. But before we choose a PNP, you need to understand your own profile clearly. Your PNP choice should be based on your strengths and not just wishful thinking. So before we begin, step 1 is to ask yourself these questions and write down these things. So pause the video, grab a paper and pen, and then come back. So I hope you have got a paper and pen. Now ask yourself these questions. What is your NOC code? Do you have a Canadian education? Do you have a job offer? What is your CRS score? Do you have relatives in any of the provinces? Do you have work experience in any of the provinces? Are you open to living in smaller or rural communities? And how much time you have to dedicate to end-to-end processing? Once you have answers to these questions in front of you, read it again. This should give you an idea of where you stand in the crowd. Out of these questions, the most important questions to answer for you would be, do you have a job offer? This, in my opinion, is the most important factor that will influence your PNP selection. If you have a job offer, your first preference should be to select a province that the job offer belongs to. So, for example, if you're living in Ontario and if you have a job offer from Ontario, try Ontario's PNP first. If that doesn't work out, and if you can say take a transfer to another province, then work with your employer and understand in which province you can move. So for example, if your employer says either you take Ontario or you take Alberta, then you have two options. You can look into Ontario's PNP or you can look into Alberta's PNP. But never choose a province in which you cannot get a job offer. This is not just important for your PNP processing, but is also important for your survival in this job market. No matter which province you choose, you will have to work and live there. So make sure that you have a job offer for that province. Once you get that factor sorted out, all other things will fall into place. Once you have a job offer, once you know your NOC code, then you can look into those provinces which support your job offer. So from my example earlier, if I'm working with a job offer in Ontario and have an option to move either to say Alberta or BC, then my PNP programs list has shortened to 3 provinces. So even though there are 10 plus PNP programs in Canada, for me, the workable solution is only 3. So you would narrow down your options and then see which options work best for you. After that, once you narrow down your provinces, things like your NOC code, your CRS score will come into play. As I said earlier, many provinces are now doing NOC-based draws or occupation-based draws. So if your NOC is in demand in any of the provinces that you shortlisted, that just makes that province more attractive to you. So just make sure that your NOC code is in demand in one or more of the shortlisted province. Now, next important thing is to remember is not to chase a particular province. This is where most applicants go wrong. They chase popular provinces instead of strategic ones where their profile will be a better fit. Now match your profile to the provinces that actually want your skill set. I'll walk you through some of the popular PNP programs and show you how your earlier answers can help you decide on which province to choose. For example, in Alberta, you will notice a very strong favor on candidates who are already working in Alberta or who have experience in priority sector. Alberta invites people both from provincial pool and express entry pool. British Columbia. It focuses strongly on tech workers, healthcare, early educators, and skilled trades. It then highly rewards candidates with BC-based job offers and regional employment, and also graduates from the BC institutions. Ontario, on the other hand, focuses on people working in Ontario or with in-demand skills, plus also rewards Ontario graduates. When you are shortlisting the provinces, compare these factors. Eligibility requirements. What is the minimum experience required? What is the minimum education? And what is the minimum language score? Look into the processing times. Some provinces might take 2 months, other might take 12 months. As I said earlier, check if your occupation is on their priority list. If your occupation is on their priority list, this increases your chances a lot. Look into the cost of living and job market of that province. This will ensure your long-term success. Once you select a province, you are going to live and work there. So your long-term success really matters. And for that, cost of living and job market is very important. Provincial retention clause. In most of the PNPs, you are going to sign a declaration that you would be living and working in that province if you are selected. This could be a problem for some candidate or can feel restrictive for them. So make sure before you select a province, you are aware of any provincial retention clause. Next comes the frequency of draws. Most provinces will do a draw of candidates from either the express entry pool or their own provincial pool at regular intervals. Some provinces are more regular, some provinces are not that regular. The more frequency of draws, the more is your chance of getting selected. So if you have option of 3 provinces, then look into the frequency of draw of each of them and then decide. And avoid these common mistakes. As I said earlier, PNP is not a random process. You need to take each step carefully and deliberately to avoid wasting your time and resources. And what these mistakes could be? Applying to a province where NOC is not in demand, ignoring clauses like settlement of funds, assuming that high CRS is guarantee of a nomination, applying without checking the recent draw trends, and last but not the least, choosing a province that you don't intend to live in. This is one of the biggest mistakes I have seen people do, so please avoid this mistake. A strategic approach not only saves your time, but increases your chances dramatically. So in conclusion, choosing the right PNP is not about picking the easiest province. There is no such thing as an easy province. It's all about picking the province that aligns with your profile. Start with your strength, shortlist the provinces strategically, and always verify the information from official sources. If you want a breakdown of PNPs based on your NOC or CRS scores, comment below and I'll create a dedicated video for that particular subject. And remember, choosing the right PNP isn't guesswork. It's a structured process. When you match your profile to the right province, your chance of PR increases dramatically. So thank you, and I hope that this information helped you. And if you think my work is worthy of a subscription, please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.